Let's talk about people who work for tips. That occurred to me recently.
No, thank you.
Yeah. So, listen. If you work for tips, you should
Quit.
not quit.
Oh. Are we talking like strippers and restaurant people?
No, there's more
included?
restaurants.
You're not talking strippers?
That's not tips. That's what you're there for. If you go to a strip club and don't throw any money, you're an asshole.
Okay, but that's still a tip, ain't it?
No, isn't that their whole paycheck? The
Okay,
club.
if
If
you give 'em-
anything, I'm pretty sure strippers have to pay the club.
I know, but
to work there.
Okay, so what if we give strippers $5 an hour?
Well, if they're getting a salary or if they're getting a paycheck, then technically you giving them extra money is a tip. But I don't consider it a tip. You're not tipping your stripper. This is the dance. They shake their ass, you throw money. That's how this goes.
Huh.
If you're going to the strip club, now it's one thing if a girl's literally standing there, like looking at her nails. Yeah, she's not, but she's also not working. So why would you be paying her?
But doesn't everybody get an hourly plus the tip?
Not a stripper.
Okay, I'm talking about restaurant people.
That's what I'm saying. Those are tips. Those are tips.
Okay.
You don't.
I'm gonna let you finish this thought.
Anyway, the point I'm making is that if you work at a restaurant, nobody owes you. There's no rule that says I must leave you money. I guess there's a social etiquette, but I mean technically I could leave you $1 or $2. You really can't be salty about it. I feel like here's the thing, whenever I go to a restaurant, I am planning to leave at least 15%, right?
Me too.
But you gotta do something. You can't just like hand me my food and now I'm supposed to pay 15% more because the person who you're working for is really just finessing you out of bread. That's really what's happening. It's damn near slave employment. They're not paying you anything and you're mad at me when I don't give you a tip because you have shitty customer service. Like, fucking...
Did you read about somebody complaining about...
Here's what happened. So the other day I went to the dispensary, right? To go re-up.
You're supposed to tip at the dispensary?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's customers, it doesn't
Hey,
feel...
I mean, that and that.
The
I've never been inside a
experience-
dispensary
Okay,
before.
well, there you go. The experience in a dispensary, and it's similar at a vape store, to a less degree at a vape store, but there is supposed to be some, it's like getting a wine tasting. It's like, okay, what do you recommend? Why do you recommend it? How's this different from that? It's not like you go into a 7-Eleven and it's like, oh, let me get the fucking Snickers.
It's not?
No, it's not like, let me get some Snickers, let me get, I don't know, some scratch-offs, let me get 15 on
Okay,
number
what if you're
2.
somebody who knows exactly what they want and you do treat the dispensary like 7-Eleven? Are they supposed to tip too?
I do think dispensaries fall into that category where, you leave her $1, leave shorty $1 or $2. They usually have women operating at the front of a dispensary. The dispensary I go to, it's all women.
I tip all my waitresses. I don't know how I would feel about tipping for a dispensary.
Anyways, it's just a social etiquette that is called for in a dispensary. So every time I go, right? Every time I've gone, I get $90 worth of flowers.
Their finest magic.
I get $90 worth of flowers, and I usually just give them a crisp $100 bill because dispensaries only take cash, right? Yeah, they only take cash because it's still not flowers. The sale of flowers is not legal nationwide. It's not federally legalized.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but it is in California. But as such, they only do cash. And so I usually just leave but now with this one dispensary in particular, right? They do the whole, like when you go to a coffee store and they have the card, you come 10 times. The punch card thing. Yeah, they have it a little differently. You can't leave in the same way you're not supposed to leave a liquor store with just a handle of liquor. You're supposed to have it in
a brown bag.
Yeah, in an opaque bag. It's the same thing with flowers. They give you a little baggie that you have to pay for, by the way. But you bring back the same bag every time. And
Oh,
if you
yeah,
spend
you
a
did tell me
certain,
about
yeah,
that.
if you spend a certain amount of money, right, you get a sticker.
Oh.
Now they've seen my face a few times, right? I have forgotten to bring the bag, so I bought 3 of these bags, right? So what I did is I went back the other day and I brought all the bags. I was like, hey, could you just like throw these other 2 extra bags away that I don't need and just transfer the stickers to this bag?
Okay.
You know, so I can get my points added up. And Shorty's giving me like, oh well, we don't do that. I'm like, bitch, I spent so much money here already. People here recognize me, you know, just fucking do the thing, right? And then she's like giving me, you know, bullshit. And you know what I'm thinking? She's thinking this guy's gonna tip me anyway while I'm gonna do him favors. Comes time to pay, right? I recently did, you know, a little low-key freelance work for somebody and he paid me cash. And I just have that cash in my wallet. So it's time to pay. I pull out like 4 Blueface hundreds. You feel me?
Blueface hundreds.
I pull out like 4 Blueface hundreds.
Okay.
And she sees that all of a sudden she starts getting nice and because she's like, oh, this guy could afford to tip me.
I don't like that.
You know what I mean? And you know, and I usually just leave the fucking, give the 100, she keeps a 10, but this time I'm like, hey, break this 10. I still give her 5 because that's just how my mother raised me.
She wouldn't need nothing from me.
But the point I'm making is that if you work in customer service, and the reason why I even brought this up, because it's funny, the guy who was in the line before me, because of course, because of the quarantine, they're only doing 1 customer at a time. You have to stand
6
at the
feet
back.
6 feet back.
The guy who left, he was talking, you know, the guy who got serviced before me, after he left, Shorty's like, he never tips. She said that, he never tips. This wasn't the same girl who was helping me. This was another girl. He never leaves a tip. And
Wait, talking about you or the last?
no,
dude?
the guy who left,
Okay,
the
my
guy
bad.
obviously didn't tip.
Gotcha.
So I'm like, how are these girls gonna be complaining about not getting tips when your customer service is so fucking ass? And that's the point I'm making. If you work for tips, be good at your job. It requires more than you doing the bare minimum, okay? I'm not saying you gotta put on this fake smile, it wouldn't hurt. But, you know, go a little bit above and beyond the bare, I gave you the money, you gave me what I asked for, you know?
When they
That's all
said
I'm
that
saying.
he never tips, was that after you had your interaction or
This is
before
before.
you had your
This is
interaction?
before.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have definitely said something on the way out.
Really? I mean, I did say something to her. I was like, hey, you help me out, I help you out. That's how this works. And then she was like, oh, okay. And then I left.
Yeah. I'm good on that.
Yeah.
I tip all my waitresses. I'm not gonna lie. I even tip, when I picked up the burgers, I even tipped them. Like,
Really?
It wasn't 15% because it's pickup. Like, I feel like it's
Yeah.
a different thing when you're running to get my refills.
Yeah.
That's what I'm tipping for. I'm tipping for you're the butler, and every time I finish my drink, you have a refill for me. That's what I tip for.
Yeah.
If I'm getting pickup and I just, get one fucking
I'm not gonna
drink.
lie, half the time I don't tip pickups.
Yeah, I don't either. But Umami had I'm gonna beep that. They're not getting any promotion.
Okay.
They had the.
I mean, you could say it.
they had the bags, and I was like, wow. So I give them a few dollars.
Yeah.
But I usually don't tip pickup.
Yeah, I'll tip pickup. I usually, if it's a place I go very often, and they start anticipating things, like I usually ask for, extra sauce or something, and I show up to pick up my food and it's already in the bag, I didn't have to ask for it. Then that's when I get into the territory of tipping on pickup, because you're doing more than just the bare minimum. That's all. I just need to see a little sliver of you doing more than the bare
effort.
minimum.
Little
A little
effort.
effort on your part for me to start tipping. And also, I do feel like as, a black guy, I kind of have a responsibility to break stereotypes wherever possible. It's no sweat off my back to leave you a couple extra dollars.
Word.
If it's gonna help break the stereotype of, oh, black people don't tip, I'm with it.
I'm with it too.
But you gotta do something,
My dad used to tip a lot, and I think that's where I got it from. But now that I look back, that nigga was broke. He wasn't giving no type of. I needed that money more than that damn cashier, nigga. Now I'm looking like, nigga, you could have let me have that $5.
Yeah.
So I tip good. But I don't know if I'm tipping the dispensary, man.
Yeah.
Especially if it's not great customer service. You better motherfucking explain to me how that shit smelled in depth. If I ask for, hey, what's that? I need the whole shebang bang.
Yeah, I mean, hey man, it is what it is. It is what it is.
It is what it